Hi everyone, welcome back. I have a super fun video for you guys. I mean, at least I had fun filming it, so hopefully you guys have fun watching it. I got the new ABH Modern Renaissance 9-pan palette. So ABH originally had a Modern Renaissance palette many years ago. I have that one too. Here it is. And this was a much bigger palette. The original palette had 14 shades. And then they released a 9-pan palette of the 14 shade palette. I mean, the 14 shade palette is still available on Sephora, so I'm not sure why they did this. I know the other palette, which is the Sultry palette, is completely out of stock. They're not gonna restock it, so it makes sense that they wanted to release a 9-pan palette instead and kind of see if people are actually interested and want to purchase the 9-pan one. But the Modern Renaissance, I'm pretty sure I saw it on Sephora. Anyways, today I wanted to compare the old one and the new one to see if they're actually the same. Because if you purchased the Modern Renaissance when it came out years ago, by now it's probably expired. But if you loved it, and you want this 9-pan version, you might be curious if the formula is the same, if the shades look exactly the same. We're gonna find out today because I did something super fun. On one eye, I'm using the new palette, which is this eye over here. And on the other eye, I'm using the old palette. So we're gonna see these two palettes in action and see if they're actually the same. So I hope you have fun watching me create this look with the two palettes. I'm also going to show you guys swatches just for fun. Why not? I do like comparing palettes, so I just like swatch comparisons. By the way, I got the original palette from the ABH website at a pretty big discount, so I'm not sure if they were like trying to get rid of these palettes. That's why it was on discount, but I got it last year, so mine is still usable. I do take advantage of the Black Friday sales because they are so good. A lot of stuff I get is 40% off, and that's hard to resist. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk too much. Let's get started and let me show you the look that I'm creating with these two palettes. This eye, I'm going to use the new palette. This eye, I'm gonna use the old palette. Starting with this sort of peach shade. I think it is this burnt orange shade. Honestly, I feel like the new one formula is better for this shade. The new one was much easier to blend than the old one. But sometimes I feel like when you first use a shade, it behaves differently than once you've broken into it. Do this pink shade right here. Shade called Love Letter. Time for the shimmer shade. The shimmer is beautiful. It is super pigmented and creamy. It's a really good shade. Primavera. Pretty sure it's this shade. Yep, it feels the same. Really beautiful. I love the shimmer. So pretty. I'm gonna use this shade just to clean up the inner corner. Tempera. For my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Oh, it's so pretty. The shade Red Ochre. It's pretty pigmented on the eye. Maybe even more pigmented than the new one. Weird. Right, I'm gonna put on some mascara and finish up the look. messed up. All right, here's the final look. I really don't see much of a difference. I think they look pretty much the same. I thought maybe the peach one was a little bit brighter, but it's such a subtle difference. It could be due to lighting, more on my right side versus my left. So I would say it is a pretty good replication of the old palette. And here are the swatches. I mean, they look pretty identical to me. And the shades that are extra, I feel like they're not really that special, so you can do without them. Overall, my final thoughts, I think the new palette is a pretty good representation of the old one. Most of the shades were mattes in the old one with a few shimmer shades, and this new one is pretty much matte with one shimmer shade. Maybe one more shimmer shade would have been nice. I mean, I have done 2 looks with this palette with just the one shimmer shade, and it is a good usable shimmer shade, like the color that they used. But it would have been nice to have just one more shimmer shade. But nonetheless, the color that they used is a good color that can be used with any color within the palette. I do think the 9-pan palette colors and the formula is pretty on par with the old formula. Maybe there's like the tiniest difference, which I don't think is really that noticeable. So, and the shades, maybe like one shade was just like slightly different, like the tiniest amount, which I think at the end of the day is also not like super noticeable on the eyes. So if you are a fan of the original palette, I think it's worth getting the new one. It's super cute, but the feel is different. This is like cute packaging. It's plastic, it's cute, it's travel friendly. So if you're going on vacation or traveling, this would be great to put in your makeup bag. Whereas the original one was more luxurious. It has this velvet feel. This is more like for your vanity, and the new one is more for like the travel bag. So it's not exactly the same, but I think it's a nice travel-friendly representation of the original palette. All right, I do have the sultry palette too. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a full YouTube video or I might just do a shorts video with the other one just to kind of like play around with it and do a look for fun. Anyway, I'm really feeling my lippy today. And it's not even a lipstick. I used this Juvia's Place blush. First I applied it on my cheeks to match my eye makeup. Then I was like, I'm too lazy to go through my huge lipstick collection to find the perfect lip color, and I basically just took the blush and I put it on my lips. And I used a little bit of a lip gloss with it, but I love it. This is the shade Sweet Berries. It is a very pigmented blush. So if you're gonna use it on your cheeks, use a little bit, but on the lips, it works out great. Yeah, so on Sephora, we have the Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette, the original one, and we also have the mini Modern Renaissance eyeshadow palette. ULTA. The mini one is also available at ULTA, and it looks like there's a free gift with purchase. Free choice of Brow Wiz Deluxe with $35 Anastasia Beverly Hills purchase valid through 10/21/23 or whilst quantities last. All right, so I will leave the Sephora link down below and the ULTA link down below. They are affiliate links, so if you guys use them, there's no cost to you, but it helps support my channel. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.